The following podcast topics are not for minor age listeners. Please take the time to skip to another podcast if your children are present. If you are an adult faint at heart or a victim, please be advised that discussions in this episode contain topics about SA and other conversations that may be triggering. Thank you.
Welcome back to The Betrayed. This is Gina Beck.
This is Drew Williams.
Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. We appreciate y'all, especially all the reviews on Apple Podcasts. It really means a lot.
Yeah, like always, thank you again for the continued support, the continued engagement, the hashtag Banana Cats, and a big thank you to the iHeart Radio listeners.
Yeah, thank you, iHeart. How are you, Drew?
I'm all right, G. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Little stuffy still, if you can't hear. I'm sorry, guys, but it should all be away soon. If you guys are feeling under the weather, I hope you all feel better out there. Man, this stuff is going around.
Yeah, mine finally is like completely gone, I think.
Good.
But
yeah,
let's see what happens with the rest of the year.
Yeah, right. We have a couple of things that we want to talk about. This first thing, it caught my eye because it's not often we see something like this to this magnitude, I feel like. The DOJ, they say that over 3,000 U.S. minors were targeted in... Are we censoring this or no? Does it matter? Can I say whatever?
We're not censoring anything anymore until we get a strike.
Okay. DOJ says over 3,000 U.S. minors were targeted in sextortion crimes in the past year. I think that's a big number that they can find. I mean, there's obviously more, but it's not often you see an article like this. That's why I wanted to talk about it. I guess the federal law enforcement officers are cracking down on a scheme that aims to extort sexual imagery from, children and teens after a dramatic increase in incidents over the past year. The predators are threatening, blackmailing, or enticing minors through sextortion or just even extortion, in which they demand sexually explicit content or money from a child against their will, according to a Justice Department. This was released Tuesday. Victims as young as 10 years old have been targeted. That is so young. And that just means that this young 10-year-old has some kind of device to be able to communicate with these people to be sextorted or extorted.
It's actually
how is that?
It's actually a problem that's been going on for a while, basically since the internet. There was that teenage girl that ended up committing suicide. I think it was 2013, 2014. She was sextorted by a guy. There's a lot of them, actually. It's just, I'm glad it's finally starting to, I don't know, be more on the forefront.
Highlighted?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning. Like, it's not very often where you scroll through recent news, and this is, like, on the forefront.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow.
I mean, especially when you have someone like the DOJ, Department of Justice, to put out a memo like that, that's a big deal.
Yeah, this is from cnbc.com, by the way. The link will always be in the description. The crime is a subset of online enticement, which, like, per this article, spiked 98% from 2019 to 2020. And according to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the NCMEC, in partnership with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Pennsylvania, the Philadelphia Department of Homeland Security Investigations, and the FBI's Pittsburgh office issued a public safety alert about sextortion on Tuesday. And this article was put out December 20th, just recently.
Yeah, yesterday, technically. We're recording this a little after midnight.
These criminals have become very good at luring in and extorting young children. Mike Nordwall, FBI from Pittsburgh special agent who's in charge, said in a statement, they try to hide behind the anatomy of the internet, but the FBI is not going to let them prey on our children. Now, I kind of saw in some areas, I think Texas, they're trying to pass something where you can't be under 18 and use the internet. Did you see that?
I didn't see that one specifically, but they've tried to do things like
Recent.
that before, and I mean, it's as big as a joke as like the "Are you 21 and older? Click yes or no to join this website." Like I just
Exactly,
like
because
it's
yeah,
not
because
going to
they'll
do
still be able
anything.
to make a profile. Like what?
It's a bunch of boomers that don't understand how the
Yeah,
interwebs work, and they think they're going to legislate that way, and it's just like that's not going to do anything, you guys.
exactly. Just like how, the FBI can work as hard as they can at this, but there's always going to be someone on the internet doing this,
What about the
unfortunately.
fact that they're saying they're trying to protect children? They had Epstein for over 30 years in their crosshairs,
I mean, we
and
could
they
bring
did
it
nothing.
if you want to go down that route.
I mean, that's just like, not to discount the. Well, you know what? I don't really care. Fuck the FBI. They don't really do anything that's great. I mean, after hearing that they knew Epstein for over 30 years, and they just continued to let that go on up until just a few years ago, that's insane. And now they're trying to take credit like they're going to do something about sextortion, when I said this has been going on since you've been able to send images on the internet. Kids have been
Yeah,
getting stuck into this, and now they're
a
all of a
million
sudden,
percent. Mhm.
cheer us on, guys. It's like, well, there's entire groups that have been doing this for years, exposing these
Yeah, you're
types of.
just now cracking down per this article.
It's crazy.
Just now, in 2022, going on 2023. Should have been cracking down a long time ago. But this says that I guess they are posing as children and teens to gain trust of their victims. So something I guess to be aware of if you're listening and you know you're wondering that question. Be aware of random new online friends, and hopefully you are getting in contact with any new online friend. I mean, getting in contact with their parents of any new online friends, because I don't know. If my child was playing like an online video game and all of a sudden gained a friend, I'd be like, okay, yeah, put me in contact with his parents. Just make sure everything's, all good. Like, not just anybody is going to be my kid's friend. I don't care. Just because you met online on a video game or
Well,
something.
now you got two dangers. You got the predators, and then the other danger, it might be a federal agent. So you never know what's gonna hurt your
Oh,
kid.
yeah, you never
I'm
know.
sorry to laugh at the situation. I'm so frustrated with the FBI lately.
Yeah, a lot of information that is well known now. So people can't really argue with those facts.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just pretty much getting CP, and getting a lot of pictures and videos from them or money. And it's just, yeah, it's just something to be aware of, and something that if you're just scrolling through kids' devices, just pay attention to any like new friends and friendly conversations, and pay attention to what those conversations are being talked about, and meet their parents for sure. It doesn't matter if they met online. Meet their parents. They could live in Ireland. Like, you want to talk to their parents, video call. Like,
I was gonna
everybody
say
can
it's so
video
easy to
call.
set up a video chat. There's
Uh-huh.
so many options for you to do that.
Yeah.
It
No
really.
excuse. And if they give you a weird excuse, red flag, not your friend, block. And if
Yep.
they try to do the whole make a new account, that's how you really know you got a weirdo, when they'll make new accounts, contact you on new accounts, even if you continue to block. You know you got a real weirdo.
Yeah, that's super red flags right there when they're going out of their way to keep contact when you've already blocked. Yeah, that's some real
Yeah.
scary
And
stuff.
start getting aggressive and like maybe making threats
Well,
because
look
maybe
at
the
what
child
happened with
told them something.
last episode with where we were talking about the officer that drove from West Virginia. That was all over sexual images. And
Mm-hmm.
he went there and he murdered her entire family and kidnapped her, set the house on
Yeah.
fire. I mean,
Yeah.
you
It
really need,
happens.
you really should pay attention to who your kids are interacting with. And I know that's easier said than done. Teenagers are going to be teenagers. This is a totally different era. They all got phones. They all have access some way, whether it's at their friend's house or on their own device. But talk to your kids.
But with the technology today, you may. I don't know if this is. I don't have children, so I can't say if I would feel this is invasive or not. But with the technology today, you can literally mirror someone's device onto yours.
I think
I
that's
don't
going to,
know if that's invasive. I don't know. I'm probably not going to make that decision ever, if at all. I don't know. But
I think you gotta. I think
I don't
it's an
know.
individual thing. I think you gotta look at the kid. I mean, if you got a kid that is constantly getting into trouble with the internet, I mean, that might be something you need to
Why?
do.
Yeah, obviously, don't be obsessively like you don't need to be obsessive about it and like every second of the day see what they're up to. But I think at least once a month, keep yourself updated on what they're up to on their device.
Yeah, and
I
I
don't
don't.
think
You
there's
know, and
anything wrong with that.
if they're actually
And it's not
making.
hard to like, yeah, you're like just scrolling and you see an abnormal name that's usually not around. That's all. Just things like that.
Yeah, it's just you could also just communicate with them more. I mean, if these are normal friends, your child is probably going to talk about them, and
Well, we don't have kids, Drew, so the people in the comments will be like, well, you don't have kids. And yeah, we don't. And guess what? It probably is hard to communicate with kids because we were kids and we're probably hard to communicate with and whatever, okay? But yeah, if you have a healthy relationship, you should be able to communicate and everything and teach them these things, It's not just stranger danger anymore. There's not even a name for it
well,
that goes
statistically, it's like we said, it's always someone within your circle more than it is a
exactly.
stranger. It's always been that.
Was it ever stranger danger?
I don't think it ever really was. I think that was just more of a thing that, I mean, it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's not a bad thing to teach kids to be more aware of their surroundings, but
No, but I think at an even younger age back then, including now, it should be taught like more about these are like your no parts, and if anybody comes towards these no parts, you tell mom and dad, things like that, I guess.
I mean, that's really all you, I mean, that's really all I guess you could do. I don't, that's
I saw a mom and a documentary teach her kid that, and it stuck. It was like that's a good way to put it
I imagine that's
because
probably how it goes down a lot of the times when people do
mhm
discuss this with the younger kids. I mean,
mhm
because you don't have to get graphic to get the point
yeah,
across.
it's not that deep. Well, yeah, you just need to be just surface level and just like basic stuff just to stay protected because there are people though that don't have that conversation at all and will grow up and learn things as they get older and be like, yeah, my mom and dad never talked about this stuff, but they never went through anything either, but they didn't know it either. So it's like it's healthy just for anybody that maybe feels uncomfortable or like they shouldn't talk to their kids about stuff like that. It's healthy. It's better for you to be teaching them than I feel like schools though too, right?
Ye-
Sometimes
Well,
schools are very vague.
look what's going on with schools right now. I mean, you had the private school in Chicago that was teaching, I think, 9-year-olds
Yep, you have stuff like
They're
that.
teaching kink.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just say what some people might not know this. There was a $40,000 a year school, private school. Wasn't, I don't think, religious affiliated. The dean of the school was teaching children how to use a butt plug, and the difference
Wow.
between lube and spit. And the school is doubling down on defending this. And I don't. When did we go from sex ed being basically an anatomy class where you separated the girls and the boys to let's show kids how to put butt plugs in? Like, I don't know. Like, how did we go just this 180 degree into just
Yeah.
absolute? And then you got all these people that want to defend it, and you got people going down to these drag shows armed to defend the drag
Mm.
queens, and it's like, and then you got the other side showing up too with kids and guns, and like, can we not
It's
do this,
yeah.
you guys?
When I was growing up, we got taught it was very vague. We got handed a bag of flour. Here they said, "Here's your baby. Here's your male partner. Now raise the kid for a week." And we just had like this bag of flour. It's kind of like a joke. They were very vague. We didn't deep dive into anything. We didn't learn about predators. We didn't learn about really much. It was very vague. But now, then you say this, just like it's more like a 360, not a 180. Because yeah, they are deep diving at 9 years old into all that. I would much rather have a healthier talk, less I don't know, less of all that, way less of all that with my child at home. Like, wow, way less.
Yeah, it's
We're gonna end it on that. Usually we end it on like maybe something good that was really like
well, Happy New
it's
Year,
really,
everybody.
yeah, that was really out there. But this is real life, y'all. This is real life. This is what's really going on in the world. And if we don't talk about it, no change can happen at all. So we just like to keep pumping this information out there because there's somebody that'll hopefully come across it and can use some of it in some kind of way. Make sure you check the links in the description if you want to know anything else, or find our socials, or go to the articles yourselves. Happy New Year. I hope you guys have a great Christmas. Until next time, Banana Cats.
Banana Cats, much love. And yeah, Happy New Year to you all. Merry Christmas. If you're Happy Hanukkah, if you're not celebrating anything, just yeah, Happy New Year. And we love you guys, and we really appreciate the support over the years. And we're looking forward to more episodes. So see you guys next year. Much love. Peace.